Confidence is not the permission, it's the result. But it has one big bias. It would rather overreact than miss something important, which means it will hold you back from doing something that's probably safe, just to avoid a risk that it doesn't understand yet. Because in the mind, it's thinking, better safe than sorry. Here's the key idea. Confidence needs evidence, and your brain doesn't trust imagination. It trusts. Confidence doesn't come before action. It comes after it. Humans are strange creatures. We keep waiting to feel confident before we act, but confidence is something your brain only builds after you act. So the thing you're waiting for is created by the very thing you're avoiding. Most people believe confidence is the starting point. I'll try when I feel confident, I'll speak up when I feel confident, or I'll go for it when I feel confident. And here's the trap. The longer you wait, the more the brain thinks we're not ready yet, which makes it even harder to act. But here's what's actually happening. The order is reversed. The simplified structure is courage, action, evidence, confidence. Confidence is not the fuel, it's the receipt. And most people are waiting for the receipt before they make the purchase. Picture this. You're about to do something new. Speak up, start something, put yourself out there. Right before you act, your brain starts talking, and not calmly. It goes into full drama mode. What if this is awkward? What if I mess up? What if people judge me? And then comes the very reasonable conclusion. Maybe I just need more confidence. Sounds smart, but it quietly stops everything. Because waiting for confidence is like waiting to get strong before going to the gym. So why would our brain do this? Why would it block action when action is the only way to build confidence? This is where it gets interesting. Your brain is trying to do one thing, constantly predict what happens next so it can keep you safe, which means most of the time, you're not reacting to reality. You're reacting to a prediction of reality. It's like two voices in your head having one quick conversation. One voice is the strategist. It looks at your past and goes, what's likely to happen here? Then another voice jumps in, more emotional, more protective. Okay, but what if this goes wrong? And if there's uncertainty, the second voice gets loud. Not because something is actually wrong, but because your brain would rather overreact than miss a threat. Here's the issue. If you've never done something before, your brain has no evidence. And when there's no evidence, it fills in the blanks. Not with confidence, with caution. Sometimes exaggerated caution. And your brain is really good at exaggerating. So now you've got a voice in your head, like a bodyguard. Hey, are you sure about this? This could go badly. And honestly, it's trying to help, but it has one big bias. It would rather overreact than miss something important, which means it will hold you back from doing something that's probably safe, just to avoid a risk that it doesn't understand yet. Because in the mind, it's thinking, better safe than sorry. Even if that risk is just sending a message, speaking up in a meeting, or posting something you made. Here's the key idea. Confidence needs evidence, and your brain doesn't trust imagination. It trusts experience. So if you haven't done the thing yet, there's nothing for it to trust. Just unknown, be careful. Now this part is everything. Every time you act, your brain compares two things. What it expected versus what actually happened. And most of the time, reality is less scarier than the prediction. And when that happens, your brain updates. Oh, that wasn't bad. That tiny update matters because each time it happens, the fear response softens just a little. And over time, you build something powerful, a memory of, I've done this before and I didn't fall apart. That memory, that's actually what confidence is. Not a feeling you wait for, a pattern that your brain recognizes. So here's the shift. You're not trying to feel confident. You're trying to update your brain. And the only way to update it is through action. But there's another layer. Most people think they're waiting for confidence. But what they're actually waiting for is permission. Permission to try, permission to be messy, permission to be that version of themselves. And your brain won't give you that permission because it doesn't have evidence yet. But here's something subtle. Sometimes you can borrow evidence. You see someone else and think, if they can do it, maybe I can do it too. That's your brain updating its prediction without acting yet. It is weaker than your own experience, but sometimes even that little permission is enough to get you to the next step. So you have to flip it. You act first, even if it feels a little unnatural to act first. Because to your brain, repetition becomes identity, and slowly it updates. Maybe this is who we are now. Think about something you've been putting off. Sometimes your mind keeps repeating, I'll do it when I feel more confident. Now pause, because that sentence sounds helpful, but it's actually the trap. Confidence is not the permission, it's the result. So here's the real question. What would you do today if you didn't need to feel confident first? Try this for 7 days. One small action per day with just a little bit of courage. Not huge, just uncomfortable enough. Speak up, start messy, do it before you feel ready. Call it a courage rep. Your only job? Collect evidence. That's it. Confidence will take care of itself. Confidence doesn't come from believing you won't fail. It comes from remembering, I've handled things before, and I can handle this too. So don't wait for confidence. Take the action. Let confidence follow. Let your brain update the story and watch what happens. Because big evidence beats tiny intention.